All right, today's Bible study is about Cain and Abel and sacrifice. Now, the first interesting thing about the Cain and Abel story with dealing with sacrifice is that Adam and Eve, the Bible never talks about Adam and Eve sacrificing to God, and it never tells about God telling Cain and Abel to sacrifice. He might have, and Adam and Eve might have, we don't know. Or Cain and Abel could have came up with it on their own because to show gratitude towards God for creating them. We don't really know where the idea of sacrifice comes from. But the next thing we see in the Bible is that God looked favorably on Abel's sacrifice and not favorably on Cain's sacrifice. So what does Cain do? He gets mad at Abel. He doesn't say, hey God, what's wrong with my sacrifice? He doesn't sit down and think about, like, hey, how can I improve my sacrifice? And Cain doesn't look at Abel and go, well, what is he doing differently than me? Maybe that's where I can learn to sacrifice better. Well, that applies to us in our everyday life. Should I sacrifice a little bit of free time to pick up an extra hour of overtime at work? That's sacrificing your time for money. Decisions on whether to go to college, what degree to get. You're sacrificing 4 or 5 years or more of your life and sacrificing a lot of money to go into debt. Is that sacrifice good? Will that college degree pay for itself and then some and make it worth the time and effort it took to get it? Another thing people get upset about is when they look at the uber rich. They look at people like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, or even their boss at work that drives a better car than them, and they go, man, that's not fair. And they get angry instead of looking and seeing what did they do? What did Jeff Bezos do differently than me? Maybe some of that's because of luck. Maybe some of that's because he sacrificed more than the person that's jealous did. Maybe he picked a better college degree. Maybe he stayed up later working to build his business. Now I'm going to look at Jeff Bezos' sacrifice here for a minute. He sacrificed a lot of hours and a lot of time away from his family in order to build Amazon and become a billionaire. But he ended up losing his family, losing his wife. He's divorced. Basically, doesn't seem like he's the happiest person, even though he's a billionaire. So was his sacrifice worth it in the end? Well, if his goal was to become a billionaire, yeah. If his goal was to be happy, productive, and have a fulfilled life, maybe not. I wouldn't be happy if I was in his position. All that money couldn't buy me what I want in life to be happy. So that's our sacrifice in the material world. Now we also make sacrifices to God. Like me taking the time to make YouTube videos every week. Or like these Bible study videos in particular. Or me sacrificing some of my time to try to help with Boy Scouts or help with other things. And when I do those activities, I talk about God and try to teach the Scouts not only to be better at Boy Scout stuff and better at secular civil life, but also be better Christians. And also the sacrifices we make by coming to church, or we make sacrifices by donating our money and tithes and offerings. You gotta look at all those sacrifices and say, is my sacrifice what God wants? And if it's not, instead of getting angry about it, we have to look at the examples of people who sacrifice differently than us and see if we can't find some better grounds. And also pray about it and ask God what we can do to sacrifice better for Him and make Him happy. All right. Well, thank you, and God bless, and have a great day.